Everyone believed Caesar's army was trapped, doomed. They were catastrophically wrong. The year is 52 BC. Julius Caesar, a general whose ambition knew no bounds, found himself in Gaul, facing the greatest challenge of his career. Vercingetorix, a chieftain of the Arverni, had united the scattered Gallic tribes into a formidable force, pinning Caesar's legions against the walls of Alesia. This wasn't just a battle, it was a gamble for the fate of Rome. Alesia was a hilltop oppidum, a fortified settlement, surrounded by natural defenses. Inside, Vercingetorix commanded an estimated 80,000 Gallic warriors, well-supplied and confident. Caesar, with roughly 50,000 men, faced an impossible choice: retreat and suffer a humiliating defeat, or attempt something unprecedented. Caesar chose the latter. He decided not to assault Alesia directly, but to starve it out. This was a common siege tactic, but the scale of Alesia made it extraordinary. To blockade the oppidum, Caesar ordered the construction of a massive circumvallation, a ring of fortifications around the city. This first wall, stretching 11 Roman miles, was a marvel of engineering. It included a 12-foot wide trench, palisades, watchtowers, and a series of traps designed to deter any breakout attempts. Imagine the sheer logistical effort: thousands of men, digging, cutting timber, moving earth, all under the constant threat of attack from within Alesia. But Caesar knew this wasn't enough. Vercingetorix had sent messengers before the siege began, calling for aid from other Gallic tribes. An enormous relief army, estimated at over 250,000 warriors, was on its way. Caesar was about to be caught between a rock and a hard place: the besieged Gauls inside and the massive relief force outside. This is where Caesar's true genius, and perhaps his most profound lesson for us, emerged. He ordered the construction of a second, outer wall, a contravallation facing outwards. This created a double siege, turning Caesar's own army into both besiegers and besieged. It was an unprecedented, audacious move. This second wall was even larger, spanning 14 Roman miles. It mirrored the inner fortifications, with ditches, ramparts, towers, and traps. Caesar effectively created an impregnable fortress around his own forces. The psychology behind this was profound. He wasn't just defending, he was projecting an unshakable resolve. Think about the mindset required. Facing overwhelming odds, Caesar didn't shrink, he expanded. He didn't just meet the threat, he anticipated a second, larger one, and built a solution before it even arrived. This is the essence of proactive resilience, not just reacting to problems, but foreseeing and neutralizing them. The engineering feat itself was staggering. Over 100,000 cubic meters of earth moved, miles of timber cut and shaped, all within a matter of weeks, by men who were exhausted, hungry, and constantly under threat. The sheer willpower and discipline instilled in the Roman legions were critical. When the Gallic relief army finally arrived, they saw the double fortifications. Their initial attacks were repulsed, their morale dented by the sheer scale of Caesar's defenses. The Gauls inside Alesia, witnessing the repulse of their saviors, felt their hopes dwindle. The decisive moment came with a coordinated attack. The relief army launched a massive assault on the outer wall, while Vercingetorix's men simultaneously attacked the inner wall. Caesar's legions were stretched thin, fighting on two fronts, but held their ground. Caesar himself, ever the inspiring leader, rode among his troops, rallying them, reminding them of Rome's glory and their own valor. He was not just a strategist, he was a psychologist, understanding the power of presence and example. At a critical point, a breach occurred. The Gauls poured through a weak section of the outer wall. Caesar, seeing the danger, personally led a cavalry charge from within his own lines, outflanking the Gauls and pushing them back. This counterattack was the turning point. The relief army, demoralized and exhausted, broke and fled. Seeing their last hope vanish, Vercingetorix and the Gauls inside Alesia surrendered. The siege was over. Caesar had achieved the impossible, not just through military might, but through an unparalleled display of engineering and mental fortitude. The story of Alesia offers potent lessons for us today. When faced with overwhelming challenges, our first instinct might be to retreat, to shrink, to feel defeated before we even begin. But Caesar shows us a different path: to expand, to build, to proactively address not just the immediate threat, but the one looming on the horizon. Consider the double siege in your own life. Are you facing a primary challenge, a difficult project, a personal crisis? And beyond that, can you anticipate the secondary challenges, the potential setbacks, the looming doubts that might appear later, and can you build your contravallation against them? This isn't about paranoia, but about strategic foresight. It's about cultivating a mindset that doesn't just react to problems, but actively designs solutions, even for threats that haven't fully materialized. It's about turning potential weaknesses into unshakable strengths. Caesar's engineering masterpiece was a physical manifestation of his mental fortitude. He dared to conceive of a solution that was beyond the conventional, requiring immense effort and unwavering belief in his vision and his men. He understood that the psychological impact of such a feat could be as powerful as its physical utility. When you feel trapped or overwhelmed, ask yourself, where can I build my inner fortifications? What walls can I erect, not to keep others out, but to protect my own resolve, my focus, my peace of mind? How can I create a double siege around my own challenges, turning them into opportunities for growth? The siege of Alesia reminds us that impossible situations often yield to audacious solutions. It teaches us about the power of proactive defense, the strength of unwavering resolve, and the profound psychological impact of demonstrating an unshakable will. It's a testament to human ingenuity and the boundless potential of a disciplined mind. When you face your own Alesia, remember Caesar's walls. Build not just against what is, but against what might be, and you might just find your own path to victory. Reflect on a double siege you've faced. Share your insights in the comments.